Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views. Canada's national embarrassment, Justin Trudeau, is getting absolutely hammered today by world leaders. The guy has got to step down. I'm going to do like an information dump on you. There's just so much going on. I can't organize it. I'm just going to let you have it. This is from Dan Messier. You are not going to believe this. Dan Messier, he is a shadow minister of rural economic development and connectivity and the vice chair of the Environment Committee. This is crazy. Justin Trudeau gave away $700 million to a non-Canadian company through his $8 billion net zero accelerator slush fund to reduce emissions. No one can say how many emissions, if any, will be reduced. It's free cash for multinational companies and carbon tax hikes for Canadians. This is money, by the way, for all of you out there that don't know. It is no strings attached money. $700 million. My God. Check this out.
How much money was given to PowerCo through the Net Zero Accelerator Fund? Just the amount, dollar amount, please.
Is 700 million. Zero has been dispersed today.
700 million.
Correct.
700 million. PowerCo company is owned by Volkswagen Group, a German company that made over $450 billion in revenue last year. How many emissions are supposed to be directly reduced from the $700 million handout?
Go ahead if you didn't say it, if you have it. I'll find the...
Pretty quiet in there.
Maybe you can stop the timer. I don't know.
Sorry, there's a number of projects, and so you're asking for specific megatons. We do have the information. We just need a minute to get to it.
Can we pause the time?
Yeah, but then the question becomes, if you do this every time, somebody has to
So-
look up.
Well, how many emissions?
So I will answer. Obviously, this is a battery deal, and if you look at the types of investments, our first pillar is about the large industrial emitters. They're intended to get to emissions in the 2030 timeline. Battery deals are part of a second and third pillar, which are intended to build the technologies for future and for to build the economy of the future.
I realize there's different pillars and all that, but can you tell us how many emissions are directly reduced by a $700 million handout to this company?
And so the investments we are making are intended to build technology.
It was just a yes or no. Can you tell us how many emissions have been reduced?
Our GHG emissions that we are calculated in a quantitative amount are those up to 2030. These are intended to generate GHG emissions beyond that, and so I
you
don't have
can't
a
tell
number
us?
to give you.
You can't tell us.
There's no quantitative
You can't
assessment.
tell us how many emissions have been reduced for $700 million. How much?
Do you get it now? It's a climate scam. It is all about money. It's not lowering emissions right now. It's all long-term projections, and they will never, ever meet their targets because it is stealing money, all in the name of climate. They are building bogus mega projects that have no return, and they just let it go bankrupt, and they leave the corpse for the taxpayers to clean up. It's happening globally. Canada is in ruins right now. Absolute chaos. We need that money. It is a coupon economy. This is from Pierre Poilievre. Trudeau throws his finance minister under the bus while he lines up carbon tax Carney to replace her and blow through the last remaining fiscal guardrails. They are not worth the cost. We need Canada. Canada can't wait. We need an election.
Everyone thinks everything is broken because he's busy breaking it.
He's been prime minister for 9 years. Let's review the chronology. So not even 8 months ago, his minister said the deficit would not exceed $40 billion, the guardrail. Then he went and got his banker friend, Carbon Tax Carney, to become his top economic advisor, stripping the power away from his finance minister. And suddenly, the guardrail was broken. Is he really going to subject his finance minister to the humiliation of reading Carney's fiscal update, which busts through the guardrail?
Justin Trudeau is so incompetent and so irresponsible that he is blaming Pierre Poilievre for wrecking Canada now. He is oblivious. So we're going to watch this short clip with Justin Trudeau. But Gadsad says there are no words, no sentiments, no nonverbal cues, no telepathic communications that can capture the extent to which this individual is grotesque. Now, in this video, Justin Trudeau says the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. I want you to know that I am and always will be a proud feminist. Elon Musk, the man himself, says Justin Trudeau is such an insufferable tool. He won't be in power for much longer. Seriously, Canada, as far as I know, has never elected a female prime minister. And Justin Trudeau says that? I think Kim Campbell got the prime minister's spot because Brian Mulroney stepped down something. It was like in 1993. And she was a prime minister for like months. It wasn't even a full year. It's nothing to brag about. The mental capacity of Justin Trudeau, his comeback to Donald Trump spanking him, he says that he takes the feminist. That he calls himself a proud feminist, thinking that's going to rattle the MAGA man? No, it's not. Check this out. This is our national embarrassment, the little potato.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
He's like 52 years old and he's still wearing them friendship bracelets from the Taylor Swift concert that he went to. Jordan Peterson says that Justin Trudeau has the maturity he figures around a 13 or 15-year-old. This is what we have here. This is what we're dealing with. He does not have the mental capacity or the self-respect to step down. Elon Musk is right. He is an insufferable tool. You know, this here, there's drones. There's drones all over New Jersey in the United States. And today they're blaming Iran for it, saying Iran has a mothership off the coast. And these drones are coming. Nobody knows what the drones are doing. They don't know for sure where they come from. Nobody knows anything about it. But what I do know is they're blocking the shit out of it on social media. This is a time lapse. This is very disturbing. Check this out. Like, look at all those drones. And you're telling me that the top security in the United States does not know what they are, what they're doing, or where they're coming from. They know they don't want to shoot one down in case they're aliens and they're doing data or something. But like, why isn't this mainstream? Why aren't they flying other drones around? Why aren't they investigating? It's very strange to me that they're just letting them zip around like that. You know, it should be like the movies where there's helicopters with spotlights on them, or like our own drones flying up there to try and get some sort of measurements from it, heat signature, anything. It's very, very strange that we have so many UFO sightings. These are all around military bases too, by the way. It's strategic. It's not like they're just there. They're everywhere. And nobody's talking about it. I should be driving to work. I'm in Grand Prairie, by the way. I should be driving to work and hearing on Big Country Radio that there's like aliens. There's drones everywhere. This is crazy. But nope. It's the same old crap. It's very, very strange. Continuing on. Sam Cooper had made a post. Beijing's 2021 election report highlights Sikh leaders' voter pressure on Trudeau. Sets blueprint for Chinese diaspora influence in the elections. Okay? I think Jagmeet Singh, aside from his golden pension and however much money he's making off of supporting Justin Trudeau, I kind of think he's placed there because he holds the Sikh vote and the money along with it. Now, here's a little snippet from that article. It says, a sensitive analysis from a key arm of the People's Republic of China's overseas influence operations, published just weeks after Canada's 2021 federal election, reveals Beijing's strategic interest in the comparative success of Chinese and Indian immigrant communities in Canada's 2019 and 2021 votes, particularly the extraordinary influence wielded by Sikh leaders who reportedly pressured Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government to amend an extremist threat report linked to the 1985 Air India bombing by warning that failure to comply would cost the Liberal Party financial backing and access to Sikh voters. Wouldn't it be crazy if this whole time the Maserati Marxist sellout Jagmeet Singh is Justin Trudeau's handler and he signed on from China? That would be crazy. Could happen. Moving on. This is from Blacklock's reporter. Give them a follow. They should. This publication should be massive. It is not. You need to follow it because they have the best snippet political posts in Canada by far. This is from Wednesday, December 11, 2024. Today. Refugees rely on food banks. Listen to this. A third of government-sponsored refugees rely on food banks in their first year in Canada, says a Department of Immigration report. And more than half remain on welfare 5 years after their arrival. Independent living is not clearly defined. All roads lead to either Western independence, provincial independence, or the 51st state. The federal government has systemic corruption. It has been infiltrated, destabilized. It needs to be dissolved or completely reformed, completely tore apart. It is unbelievable what is going on in this country. The average income, taxpayer income of one immigrant is over $80,000 in Canada, and there's over 2 million that we know of in Canada. It is unsustainable. Mark Miller, the sinister minister of immigration, lost track again of over 30,000 wanted immigrants that were their visas expired. They're supposed to be gone. He doesn't know where they are. The general area is Ontario. Give me a break. Moving on. This is from the great Senator Don Plett. This morning, the Globe and Mail reported the NDP Liberal government's tax trick, along with the idea to send $250 checks to people making $149,000 a year, was the brainchild of the Prime Minister's office. Although Minister Freeland's department viewed it as fiscally unwise and making little economic sense, and they are at odds with each other. Imagine that. The Liberal government is fighting, but yet we still have to deal with Justin Trudeau. The parliamentary budget officer predicts Chrystia Freeland has blown past her fiscal guardrail of $40 billion. Yeah, no shit. There is also a media report that the deficit projection in the fall economic statement could hit $62 billion. Isn't it time to call a carbon tax election? You know, isn't it time to just throw him out on his ass? Seriously. Check this out.
Senator Platt.
Leader, Conservative senators have asked you repeatedly about the convoluted 2-month GST holiday that your fiscally irresponsible government came up with a few weeks ago. The Globe and Mail reported this morning that this tax trick, along with the idea of $250 checks to people making $149,000 a year, was the brainchild of the Prime Minister's office alone. Minister Freeland's department finally views something as it was fiscally unwise and making little economic sense. Finally, we're in agreement with the finance minister. They are at odds. If the Prime Minister doesn't even have the support of his finance minister, then why should Canadians support him? Time to call a carbon tax election, isn't it, Leader? And answer the first question as well, not no to the second one.
Senator Gold.
Well, as if you've read all the coverage, which I have, you will also note that the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister expressed her support and indeed appeared before our committee. This committee, our committee, studied under the chairmanship of Senator Carignan 3 high-quality and intensive meetings on this particular bill. It was passed by the committee without amendment. A debate will begin, and I know Senator Platt and you and your colleagues will have ample opportunity to make your views known. So that's the answer to the first part of the question. And the second part of the question is that, as witnessed by the failure of the non-confidence motion, only one of which your party seemed to propose, I guess it didn't want to lose 3 in a row, this government still has the confidence of the House.
Senator Platt.
Got the confidence of Jagmeet Singh, and nobody voted for him to be the Prime Minister.
Exactly.
The Parliamentary Budget Officer predicts that Minister Freeland has blown past her fiscal guardrail of $40 billion. There are now media reports that the deficit projection for the fall economic statement could hit $62 billion, Leader.
Wow.
If that figure is wrong, and I hope it is, will the government say so now and not wait until Monday?
Senator Gold.
Well, Senator, as we know and as you intimated in your, or implied or stated in your question, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance will be delivering her fall economic statement on Monday. That's when I will know what the number is, and the rest of us in the chamber and Canadians.
It's going to be an absolute disaster. The Bank of Canada cut rates again today. And he said, Tiff McCollum said, the economy isn't performing as well as they had anticipated in October. He's indirectly saying that Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland are full of shit, especially when it comes to the economy and how well it's doing. Look around. Like, seriously, do you really think that Canadians leave their house in the morning and say to themselves, man, I got a lot of money. I really do. I get my carbon rebate. I get a GST holiday, and I get a $250 check. What am I going to do with all that money? Nothing. It doesn't even pay to work in Canada. It is unreal that people eat that crap up. Canada has gone woke, and now it is broke. End of story. We need an election. I will keep you updated with as much as I can when I can. All of you out there, follow me on Substack, Spotify, and YouTube. All of you out there, like, share, and take care.